What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Ethan Scott, joined alongside Cody Eich, as always. And we have two very special guests here to start off today's episode from the varsity baseball team, Mr. Jackson Gregory and Landon Fluchet. Guys, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Jackson, how about yourself?
Doing great.
So, guys, season, as you know, it's gone underway. It's starting. Best time of year, in my opinion, baseball season for sure. Jackson, we'll start with you. How do you guys plan to improve from last season?
I think all around we're just a lot more explosive, just more like tuned, more mature through the lineup. And I think like through our lead off to our 9-hole, I don't really think there's any like major weak spots this year. So I think it's going to be really good.
Landon?
We returned like pretty much all of our, like a lot of our production from last season. And I feel like the pieces like from sophomores and other guys that are stepping up, they're going to fill in the holes like really well. And I feel like we've off to a great start so far, and I don't see it slowing down.
So far throughout the year, what teammates have, kind of surprised you, like the lower classmen?
I think KT, he's a junior. He last year he was had a back injury, and then this year he came out, and he's just been super explosive in the back half of the lineup. I think he's hitting like mid-600 right now, so it's just crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
For me, it'd probably be Landon Thiel. He's a sophomore. We didn't really know much about him coming in this year because he was on the freshman team last year, and he just like got an opportunity in the fall and ran with it, and he hasn't looked back, and he's gotten a lot of good innings so far.
What is the most exciting thing you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the season?
I cannot wait to go to Florida next week for spring break.
Mine's probably Florida as well, but I really want to host a regional at our field this year and play a playoff game at our place. That's probably what I'm looking forward to.
Coach is always a big impact. What has head coach, been really just harping on throughout the start of this year?
He's been telling us he wants us to be a snake in the grass type
Snake in the
team,
grass.
Not be too like stand out or whatever, but whenever it's our time, we'll strike.
He really wants us to like play together this year and be more as one, because he said last year there was, like a lot of like we weren't really connected as well, and he wants us to be more of a team this year.
All righty, Cody, you have any other questions?
No.
All right, guys, we're going to play some trivia here, some historical trivia in MLB history. We're going all the way back to 1932 to 1998, guys. There's going to be some big names. There's going to be some names you've never heard of, I've never heard of, anybody's ever heard of. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All righty. 1932, hit much debated called shot home run for the Yankees over the Cubs.
Babe Ruth.
That's a pretty easy one, yeah. 1938, only player to throw consecutive no-hitters. The only one.
No idea.
Cy Young.
No. Is that your final guess? You have any other guesses? 1938.
That's my final answer.
Are you peeking my screen right now, Landon?
No.
Okay. The answer is going to be Johnny Vandermeer.
No idea.
No idea who that is either, but he's the only one to throw a consecutive no-hitter.
Dog.
1939, proclaimed himself the luckiest man on the face of the earth at his retirement. Has a disease.
Lou Gehrig.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1941, last player to hit over 400, going 6 for his last 8 at-bats to end at 406.
No idea.
Oh.
Really big name. He's frozen. His body is frozen. He has been dead for like 40 years, and his body got frozen.
I thought you were telling like a nickname.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think I have an idea.
Roger Hornsby.
No. Any other guesses? Ted Williams. First, this is a pretty easy one, guys. This is a gimme. First African-American MLB player of the modern era with the Dodgers.
Jackie Robinson.
Pretty easy, yes. Hit the walk-off homer, shot heard around the world, which clinched the NL pennant for the Giants.
Hank Aaron.
No.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, 1951, that guy wasn't even a thought. Give me Bobby Thompson. 1954, nicknamed The Catch, he caught an over-the-shoulder fly ball to center field in Game 1 of the World Series.
Willie Mays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1956, pitched the only perfect game in World Series history.
No idea.
No idea.
Don Larson. Next.
Don.
Hold on. Let me adjust this. hit only game-winning home run in Game 7 of the World Series. The only guy to ever hit a walk-off in Game 7 of the World Series.
The guy from the Blue Jays. I don't know.
That could be anyone.
That's a good answer.
You have anything, Jackson?
No.
His name's kind of hard to say. Bill Mazeroski broke the 34-year-old single-season home run record with 61 home runs. This is 1961, and somebody just recently broke it. Aaron Judge just recently broke it.
Roger
so
Maris.
yes. First Negro League player inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
No.
Pretty big name. Satchel Paige. 1977, known as Mr. October, hit 3 home runs in World Series Game 6.
Jackson.
Yes, sir. Yankee legend. 1978, Yankee who is the bane of Red Sox fans for hitting 3 home runs in the AL East tiebreaker game.
Mark Teixeira.
Yes, in 1978. It's Bucky Dent.
What a name.
1985 broke Ty Cobb's all-time hit record with 4,192 hits.
Pete Rose.
Yes. Good answer. 1986, let winning hit go through his legs in Game 6 of the World Series. It's a
Bill
Red
Butler.
Sox. Yes, sir. 1988, pitch hit the walk-off home run for the Dodgers in World Series Game 1. Really big name.
Oh, it was the guy with the broken leg.
I think so, actually. Yeah, possibly.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
1991, throws his 7th no-hitter with the Texas Rangers. Most all time.
Nolan Ryan.
Yes, sir. 3 more. Hit walk-off home run in the bottom of the 11th for the Twins in World Series Game 6. It's kind of a no-name, honestly. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Kirby Pickett. 1995, starts 31st consecutive game to break the record. Most ever games started.
No idea. Randy Johnson.
No. Cal Ripken Jr. All right, last and final one. Ended the season in 1998 with 70 and 66 single home runs, breaking easily the 38-year-old record. There's 2 of these guys.
Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Yes, sir. And with that, that is going to be the end. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love our athletes here on the Tiger Sports Report. When me and Cody get back, we'll be joined by Bianca Reeder and Bray Woodall to talk some NBA action. And we'll be right back with the Tiger Sports Report after this.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. We're now here for the NBA segment. I'm joined alongside Bray Woodall and Bianca Reeder, as always, for this segment. Bianca, you got some questions for us?
I do. So my first one for you guys is your thoughts on Ja Morant's suspension from the Grizzlies.
I just feel like Ja Morant's immature. The dude's got so much skill. It stinks to see this a lot. Doing what he did off the court on the Instagram Live is very uncalled for. It gives me Gilbert Arenas vibes, if you guys know about that story. It's just a shame to see. You know, Shannon Sharp made a really good point. You've strived your whole entire youth and life to play the wonderful sport of basketball in the most illustrious basketball league, the NBA. You've gone through so much training regimens. You've done so much to, you know, get into your prime and play the way you can to where you can get paid triple figures, more 8 figures, however much money you're making.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to say, you know what? I want to, you know, relate to the streets. I want to do all this. Now I'm going to start doing weird stuff off the court that an NBA superstar would never do. And that's what he's doing. And it's just, it's bad. I'm hoping this 2-game suspension can really level his mental, make him aware of what not to do. Because, like, if this was happening in David Stern's league, for example, heck no. This is uncalled for. You don't do this. Like, David and Stern said it straight with Carmelo Anthony. He was saying this on a podcast. Like, Carmelo Anthony was trying to do stuff like this, and Stern said, no, you're not doing that. So, I mean, it's up to Adam Silver really to set him straight about it. It's up to really the Grizzlies organization as a whole. And, you know, he posted to his Instagram. He's hoping he can get help. I mean, I'm hoping he can get the quote unquote help, but I mean, he's kind of just doing this to himself at this point.
Cody?
I mean, well, it's just really childish because this isn't the first time that we've seen him do this thing. Like, most recently, we've seen him do it before, but really that kind of like went and then like it just went by. No one really acknowledged it. It went by for like 3 days, and I don't think he got any punishment for that whatsoever. So the fact that they did punish him this time is a good like step in the right way, but maybe he can learn from it, like you said, because I mean, the Grizzlies team is really close. Like, they are really good. They talk a lot of trash. They do, but they're really good together because they all talk trash. So like when he's out, they're really missing a big piece of him. So if he wants to actually like continue playing basketball at the level he is and like the way he is without getting like these punishments and suspensions, he needs to like really like focus in, lock in, instead of like doing what he's been doing recently. It's just kind of childish.
Bray.
We haven't seen like this big of a caliber player like do bad stuff off the court like this before. He's just being childish. I don't know what you're thinking about going on Instagram Live that late in the morning, that late at night anyway. Yeah, 2 a.m. at a club. I think that's where he was at. So yeah, I think he needs to fix his attitude, or else he's going to be a dynamic duo with Dwight Howard in Taiwan. Gonna walk his way out the league real fast.
Alrighty, so as we know, LeBron James is currently injured. How do we feel as though this is going to affect the Lakers?
You want me to start? So, me being a diehard Lakers fan, this stinks a lot. Anthony Davis has been stepping up in the last 10 games. He's averaging about 28 points per game, but, with how healthy that man stays, he's like toilet paper. You never know how strong that man's going to be while he's on the court. Hopefully he doesn't, tear another muscle like he's been doing a million times over and over and over. So, I think he's the only hope the Lakers have right now. LeBron James, he's been out now for about 2 weeks. He's been out before the All-Star break, I believe. So, it's just the Lakers, they're hoping to get him back soon. I'm thinking, and Cody thinks the same thing, I'm hoping they just get to be a play-in team. I don't really think they're going to make it farther than that. It stinks to say. But, this just isn't the Lakers of 2020, of the 2010s, of all that. This Lakers team has just been struggling as of late, and I think, the change to acquire D'Lo is a really good move, getting rid of Russell Westbrook. See what he's doing in LA right now at the Clippers. So, I'm hoping the Lakers can just do a little bit better without him off the court, and but it's really unrealistic.
Alrighty, Cody.
I mean, I'm not surprised he is hurt. It's LeBron James after all. Like, this was going to happen. It's just an injury. Like, their big duo is both two injury-prone players. Like, I'm surprised it worked out once that they won a championship. I mean, they are really like talented. But with the talent they have, they also are very injured. I do respect Anthony Davis for what he did yesterday, though, where he did go down and he did start bleeding, but he didn't leave the game. So that's that's a step in the right direction. And he had like 30 points, 22 rebounds, something like that. I mean, like, really, that's a step in the right direction. He didn't leave the court.
I mean, a little bit of rebuttal. They're saying LeBron's injury prone. The longest injury of his career was his groin injury in 2019.
It's more like a sustainable injury. Like, it's happened. It's been there bothering him. Like, the thing, it's not like length, but like it's been there. And
I wouldn't really classify LeBron as injury prone. The dude barely misses games.
Injury prone was the wrong word to use, but like he's had it for a while.
Alrighty, Bray, what are your thoughts?
I think they could make the play-in, and if they do make the play-in, they're going to lose to my Thunder pretty easily too. But that just all depends if AD stays on the court. Because LeBron, is he supposed to miss like the rest of the regular season?
I'm pretty sure
he had surgery.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so like it all comes down to Anthony Davis being healthy, of course, because D'Lo just can't carry them by himself with him and Austin Reeves and stuff like that. But it all just comes down to if Anthony Davis stays on the court or not. Yeah, like you said.
Alrighty, what are some playoff predictions that you guys have? Let's start with Bray this time.
I think the Mavericks are going to make it farther than people think. I like that little duo that they have going on. I think that their offense can carry the defense somewhat through the playoffs, but they're not going to make it to the finals or anything. The max I can see them making it to is the Western Conference Finals, and then I have high hopes for the Bucks. I think I have them winning the championship. I have them winning it all.
Alrighty, Cody.
I think the Mavericks, for example, they remind me of a lot of like a Mike D'Antoni offense. It's just all offense, no defense. But I do think the Nuggets are going to go all the way, and I think it's going to be Nuggets versus Bucks in the finals.
I think the Knicks are a team to watch out for. They're on now like a 10-game, I believe. I mean, you laugh, Bray, but it's the truth.
They're undefeated since the All-Star game.
They lost yesterday.
They lost yesterday? Okay, well, that's the end of a huge winning streak they had since the All-Star game. The Knicks are a force to be reckoned with. They're very, very good this season. They're playing extravagantly. Julius Randle's doing what he needs to do to win games, as well as RJ Barrett and others. So if the Knicks can just keep up their form, I think they'll be a team to mess with. Finals run, no, but they're definitely going to be a problem.
Not if they meet Trae Young, like last time. Trae Young owns New York.
He does own New York, yes.
Alrighty, and that concludes my questions for you guys.
Thank you so much, Bianca. When we get back, Me, Cody, will be joined along 2 others for some NFL talk. And we'll be right back with the Tiger Sports Report after this.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. We're now joined alongside Mr. Chance Merrick and Jaden Stewart here for the NFL. Guys, the Combine going on. I still believe it's going on right now. So far, pretty fun to watch. A lot of big names in this upcoming draft. Chance, let's start with you. Who's a guy that surprised you? Who have you had your eyes on throughout the Combine?
Honestly, I feel like the Anthony Richardson stock has just gone super high lately. And then I think I saw in a new mock draft where he's top 5.
Wow.
So it's crazy.
There's a lot of stars that's really surprised me, but I think Blake Freeland breaking the vertical record for a lineman was really impressive because he got up. For a guy of his caliber, he really got up, and I've seen his stock go up a lot because of that and what he did in what's it called?
Vertical.
Yeah, thank you.
Jaden, let's get to you.
Yeah, I think Nolan Smith, coming off a torn pec, I believe, ran a crazy 4-yard dash. And he was actually upset with his score at first because he thought he ran the 4.4s and he knew he could get better. And he threw his phone. But he figured out he ran a 4.39. It just shows that he has grit and lots of determination, wants to work hard to achieve his goals. And probably shows that he's mainly recovered from his injury and boosted his stock up.
I got 3 dudes. I'll run by them really quickly. Anthony Richardson, like you're saying, stock is just going way up right now. He broke a lot of records at the Combine, and it's just impressive to see. Florida quarterback, Florida Gators, not too strong of a football team as of late in college football. And, he was a part of that team for quite a while. And the fact that he is now in the Combine doing what he's doing after what was kind of a lackluster career at Florida, it's very, very impressive. And, I think the stock is deserved, but at the same time, it just depends on what he does in the NFL. It'll really prove what type of quarterback he is. Stetson Bennett, another guy that has kind of shocked me. You laugh. You even laugh, Jaden. That's surprising. Stetson Bennett, listen, I don't care what anybody says about this guy. Man, that guy looked like a complete quarterback at the Combine. He looked like he's been doing this now for 40 years, which he has been doing for 40 years. He's been in the NCAA for quite a while. But, just doing what he needed to do. He did what he needed to do. He got done what he needed to get done, and he just, had a lot of determination. His throwing was so accurate. It's some of the most accurate throwing I've seen in a Combine practice drill in a long time. So I think he'll be a solid second-round pickup, and, I think he'll be a solid backup for a couple years maybe, and then, start working his way in the NFL. He's definitely not a starter caliber because it's Stetson Bennett. He's 25. So, and then finally, sorry if I butcher the name, either Koshawn or Kayshawn Johnson of the Texas Longhorns, the running back, the backup to Bijan Robinson throughout the years. That dude has something to prove. And he really showed it at the Combine, in my opinion. I was watching him, and it's just, he like Jaden was saying with that guy, a lot of grit. You can just tell based off the way he runs, based off the way he ran his routes that he was supposed to run as a running back, based off, the drill where they'll move the cone last second or the big old pad thing last second where you got to run through it. He was so perfect with that. He was not missing it at all. So I think he'll be a very solid running back in the NFL, and he was really fun to watch, in my opinion. Cody, you got anything for us?
Another guy that really surprised me is, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but the tight end for Georgia, he was really good at the blocking drill. So, I think he's going to play a kind of a George Kittle role where he's going to be a really good blocker and kind of a sixth lineman for whatever team drafts him, and I think he'll be pretty solid.
So, also free agency, all that stuff coming up in the NFL. We'll make this last part quick. Aaron Rodgers coming out of his retreat, whatever that was. You got Lamar Jackson. He has been exclusively franchise tagged, which means basically any single team that trades 2 first-round picks automatically gets him. That's what Mr. Stewart explained to me yesterday. Thank you, Jaden. So, so far, what has surprised you guys in free agency? What are you guys looking for? Jaden, let's start with you.
I guess what surprised me is Derrick Henry being placed on the trade block. Yeah. I guess they're just doing a total rebuild. Cut Brandon Cooks, Bud Dupree, lots of their players, their star tackle. And I don't know if they're trying to free up cap space for Lamar and maybe get some first for Henry. I don't know, but just kind of surprised me when I saw that they're putting their best player on the trade block.
Their whole franchise for the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Daniel Jones getting a bag was crazy to me.
So ridiculous.
Like,
he's good.
Tagged Saquon, but he had one good year, and he just got the absolute bag.
Josh Allen-ish.
What about you, Cody?
I guess the biggest thing that really kind of surprised me was Eric Kendricks getting released because, the Vikings have everything they need to win a championship, but they just got rid of one of their main linemen. They're one of their main defense from already a pretty weak defense, so that kind of surprised me.
One thing that surprised me, the Cowboys releasing Dalton Schultz. He was a pretty solid tight end for them. I don't really know why they would just release him.
I liked him.
I would at least have traded him, gotten some assets, but nah, just cut him. Gone. See ya. Jerry Jones does some very strange things in my opinion, and he proved it yesterday by cutting him. With that being said, though, that's going to take us to the end of the NFL segment. When me and Cody get back, we'll be joined alongside Cherish Booth to talk about some college basketball. March Madness is here. A lot of college tournaments going on right now as we speak. So, we'll be right back with the Tiger Sports Report after this.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Cherish Booth, joined alongside Cody Eich and Ethan Scott. Let's talk some college basketball. Cody, what are your thoughts on the conference tournaments?
I'm mainly excited for the Big 12 conference tournaments because they have so many ranked teams and there's not a single team. There's not a team that I would say stands out other than Kansas, but then again I think Kansas could what?
Nothing.
What?
Keep going. You just said there's not a team that stands out other than Kansas, so just keep going, bro.
All right, whatever.
I
think Kansas is the only one that really stands out in that conference. I don't think Texas or any of them really. What? Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, Cody, let me just give you my rebuttal. Texas is number 8 right now, or 7 in the country. They stand out very, very much. They have a very, very stacked offense when it comes to shooting the basketball. Another team that stands out, give me the Kansas State Wildcats. Their head coach, I forgot his name, actually won Big 12 Coach of the Year, opposed to Bill Self of the Kansas Jayhawks. That's a very, very interesting team to watch. Iowa State, don't forget about them. They could possibly make a surprising run. They have been ranked almost the entire season. A very, very tough squad. Oklahoma State, by the way, beat twice. But a team that's not going to go far is Oklahoma State with Mike Boynton right now. Unfortunately, kind of on the hot seat. Next year is kind of a make or break it year for him, but we'll get into that another time. But, I think the Big 12 is very, very interesting. It's going to be fun to watch, and I don't think there's really a clear-cut winner yet in that tournament.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
That was basically, I was going to just say I don't think there's a clear person. That's why I said there's no real standouts other than Kansas.
Okay, so Ethan, with March Madness around the corner, who are your prediction for Final Four?
All right, so my prediction for the Final Four, here's my phone. Give me Kansas. Give me Gonzaga, give me Alabama, and drum roll, please, Duke University. And you might be thinking to yourself, Duke has been ranked all season. They're going to be like an 8 seed. Listen, let me hear me clearly, okay? Duke University undefeated, 16-0 at home, Cameron Indoor. First time they've done that since 2010. The head coach of the Duke University Blue Devils played at Duke in 2010, his senior year, and he went undefeated his senior year at the Cameron Indoor, which was 2010, yeah. Duke sweeps UNC this season in the season series for what is considered the biggest rivalry in all of college basketball. Their head coach did that as well in 2010 during his senior season. There is superstition because Duke won the national championship that year. I think they're not a national championship team by any means, especially this season, but they are always, actually not always, sorry, they're actually never a force to be reckoned with in the tournament. It feels like sometimes they get knocked out constantly, but it just feels like the year for them. I don't know what it is. They've been so quiet and under the radar. I feel like as, March Madness approaches and the tournament approaches, this is, on paper, one of the hottest teams defensively right now. They're averaging some of the most blocks per game, some of the most steals per game, some of the most turnovers per game, or some of the least turnovers per game offensively, most turnovers per game defensively. You know what I mean?
Steals.
So basically, I just think Duke is a very strong contender, but I feel like if they do come up against a team like Alabama, a team like Gonzaga, or a team like Kansas who is on my Final Four, they'll get smoked. Gonzaga is also kind of a surprising one to some people, I guess, but they're number 2 in the Western Coast Conference, and they're playing against St. Mary's for round 1 of that tournament. And St. Mary's is number 1, but I just don't think St. Mary's has what it takes over Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga is going to be a very strong tournament team, and like they always are, and they honestly could win the chip this year.
Cody?
Let me get my list out real quick. I have kind of the same list, other than I don't have Duke on mine. I have Bama, Gonzaga, Kansas, and Houston, and the reason I have Houston is because if you just look at their stats of the season, I mean, they're just so impressive. I mean, they're 17-1 in their conference, 29-2 and overall 93% win percentage, and I mean, they're just going crazy. I mean, I don't understand how you don't have them. Is there a reason why you don't have them, or?
I don't have them because the tournament's so surprising. I could see them being like an Arizona Wildcats or a Kentucky Wildcat. I could see them being like an Arizona or a Kentucky Wildcat scenario where they just get upset in first round to a 15 seed.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far because I feel like their roster's really stacked.
Kentucky last season was really stacked and they got bounced out first round. So,
I mean, fair enough, but that's not a big enough superstition to just put in Duke. I think Duke is kind of a hot take, but I mean, I respect it.
Best defensive team in the NCAA almost right now.
All right, we'll see.
Defense wins chips.
We'll see.
That's all the questions I have for you guys.
Well, thank you, Cherish. With that, that's going to bring us to an end of the Tiger Sports Report. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Spring break coming up, so we won't be here at school.
Sweet.
Thank goodness. Yes, sir. Sweet is indeed right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. As always, I'm Ethan Scott. Join alongside Cody Eich. We'll see you guys next time.